The feasts of the saints that we celebrate this week bring to mind the meaning and power of martyrdom. Monday of this week, we celebrated the solemnity of Saints Peter and Paul. Tuesday, June 30th, is the first martyrs of Rome. This Friday, July 3rd, is the feast of St. Thomas the Apostle, honoring leaders in the early church, disciples of the Lord, all who were martyred for their faith. The church honors martyrdom in a very profound and beautiful way from the very beginning of the church. And it's because theologically we see a martyr as someone who replicates not only the life of Christ, but even the death of Christ. A martyr is a courageous man, woman, or child who preferred faith to life, preferred Christ to comfort and to existence in this world. To be willing to die for something also indicates what we have lived for. So martyrs died the way they lived, that Christ was the passion and the center of their life. When I think of the liturgical calendar, we realize that the church has scooped up to her heart every sacrifice, every life offered, every martyrdom endured from the beginnings of the church. And she holds all of that to her heart. So there's no sacrifice, there's no suffering, there's no struggle that we endure that is not indelibly imprinted both in the heart of God and in the memory of the church. It's a beautiful thought to ponder when we come up against something really hard in our life. This is not wasted effort. This will not go unnoticed. This is not without merit. It really helps me to suffer and to struggle knowing that there's an ultimate meaning to it all. When we think of the temptations against faith with the martyrs, it was always something very small. So an early Christian simply had to take a pinch of incense and throw it on a hot coal in front of a statue of the emperor to save their skin. Thomas More simply had to write or sign a piece of paper acknowledging that King Henry was the head of the church. Others simply had to deny faith in Jesus. So temptation can lead to betrayal in very small packages. Conversely, when we live the faith, when we embrace the gospel, oftentimes that comes in small packages as well. So the details matter. Every detail of our life matters to God. And as you may know, I'm greatly inspired by the example of St. Therese, who would say that it's really in the details of our lives that we become saints. Seldom are we given this awesome opportunity to do something grand, heroic, and noble in terms of its scope. But every day we're presented with scores, if not hundreds, of opportunities to go against our own will, our own selfishness, and to live the love of God. So martyrdom is not simply going to this traumatic death in an arena. Martyrdom is also smiling when we don't want to, being kind to someone who's unkind to us, praying when we're tired, choosing not to complain or gossip, offering ourselves to God every day. It's those hidden, unnoticed little martyrdoms that, when you add all of it up, becomes this one great oblation of self to God. So as we honor martyrs this week and throughout the liturgical cycle, we ask the Lord to help us to be martyrs. Not necessarily that we will be killed for our faith, but the Greek word martyr simply means witness. And by baptism, we are all called to that gift.